let's do a physics demo. So this is called a Wimhurst machine. Let me just start it up and then I'll tell you how it works. So you see that sparking in there, and that's because there's a charge buildup in these two. They're basically capacitors on the side. But how do they get the charge to begin with? Maybe we can take a little closer look. You'll notice that when I spin this, the two plates spin in opposite directions. Also notice right here that this brush touches these individual metal plates on these two sides. So the trick is this. Here, I imagine that I have a tiny bit of charge on a negative charge right here. This negative charge has a little pointer over here so that it wants to attract, let's see, wait, where is it? It wants to attract, let's see, how does it go? Yeah, so it is very confusing, I'll tell you right now. So these brushes right here cross connect these two metal plates, and these two metal plates are at a different cross. And these side pieces induce a charge on the other side. So imagine that I had a negative plate right here and I bring another metal plate close to it. Well, that negative plate is going to push the negative charges off there, and this plate's going to become positive. And then that positive charge is then routed to this side. The negative charges are routed to that side. And it just keeps on switching those until it builds up higher and higher charges to make this happen. I know that's confusing. I get confused too. I don't know who invented this. It was probably Wimhurst, but it was a brilliant idea. So let's run this again. And now let's talk about that sparking. Okay, can you see that sparking? Let me get a little bit closer. When the electric field in the air is greater than 3 times 10 to the 6 volts per meter, then the air becomes a conductor and you get a spark. So that's what happens right there. We're getting a change of potential between here, and if the electric field's large enough, then you get a spark. So watch what happens right here. I'm going to put these far apart. I'm going to charge it up. I can actually hear it. Okay, now as I bring these closer together, I get a spark. So I don't get a breakdown electric field until I decrease the distance to increase the electric field. So just a reminder, where's my good chalk? Here it is. Push this out of the way a little bit. Oh, I hit the camera. That's fine. Okay, so if the electric field is greater than or equal to 3 times 10 to the 6 volts per meter, then the air becomes a conductor. And we define the change in potential as negative E. I'll write this as just delta S. Remember, it's the electric field along some distance, assuming that it's a constant field, but that's fine in this case. If I solve this for E, I get negative delta V over delta S. So as I decrease the distance between the two rods, even with the same potential, I can get to an electric field of 3 times 10 to the 6 volts per meter, and boom, I get a flash. I get a spark. Okay. You also notice that the further apart I put the rods, the longer it's going to take to make a spark, because it's going to take longer to build up a charge and to build up a change in potential between those that gives you that 3 times 10 to the 6 volts per meter. But it's also a bigger spark, right? It is pretty cool. Okay, just don't touch it. So we're going to discharge it, and then we're done.